Hey there, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that is, no joke, a total game changer for creators, YouTube automation. We're going to talk about how you can pump out more content and actually get your time back. So, let's get right into it.
So let me just ask you straight up. Does your YouTube channel feel less like your passion project and more like a second, full-time job you're not even getting paid for? You know, you're just constantly buried under a mountain of tasks, always feeling like you're playing catch-up?
Well, I've got some good news. It really, truly doesn't have to be that way. There is a much smarter, way more efficient way to do this that lets you get back to the fun part, the creative stuff.
To really get the solution, first, we've got to talk about the problem. I like to call it the YouTube content treadmill. It's that feeling, right? That relentless, never-ending cycle of creating that just burns so many YouTubers out.
And that grind is so real. You know the drill. Spending forever just trying to find a good idea, sinking hours and hours into shooting and editing, and all the while you've got this constant pressure in the back of your head to post consistently. And for what? Sometimes just to see your channel grow at a snail's pace. It's enough to make you want to pull your hair out.
So how in the world do you get off that treadmill? Well, the answer is YouTube automation. This is the secret to completely flipping the script on how you make content.
So what even is it? Well, to put it simply, it's just using software to handle all the boring, repetitive parts of your workflow. We're talking everything from finding ideas all the way to uploading the final video. But here's the most important part. This is not about replacing your creativity. Not at all. It's about giving it superpowers.
The first, and maybe the most obvious benefit, is just the insane amount of time you save. Think about all those little manual tasks: organizing files, formatting descriptions, pulling data. Automation just takes all of that right off your plate. And that frees you up to focus on what you're actually good at: the big ideas, the creative strategy. Number two, you save money, a lot of it. By automating your processes, you can seriously ramp up your output without having to hire a massive team or pay a freelancer for every little thing. It's all about building a leaner, meaner operation where your cash goes towards cool new projects, not just busy work. And when you save time and money, that leads directly to the third and, honestly, the most exciting benefit. You can scale so much faster. Automation lets you post more often without completely burning out. And more content means you get more data on what your audience actually wants to see, which lets you double down on what works and just grow like crazy. Okay, so we've covered the what and the why. Now let's get into the good stuff, the how. We're going to walk through 4 specific power plays. Think of them as recipes that you can use to start automating your channel like today. First up, let's talk about that dreaded blank page. That feeling when you have to come up with another great idea. It can be totally draining. But what if you could just automate it? And the way this works is way simpler than you'd think. You can set up a little workflow that automatically searches YouTube for your keywords, uses AI to give you a quick summary of what your competition is up to, and then neatly drops all those fresh ideas right into a spreadsheet for you. It's literally like having a research assistant working around the clock. All right, power play number 2. Now we're going to kick it up a notch. We're moving beyond just ideas and into automating parts of the actual video creation process itself. With this kind of setup, you can have AI generate amazing optimized titles and descriptions for you. You can even have it create a super professional sounding voiceover straight from a text script. Then, it takes all those pieces, your script, the audio, the metadata, and files them away perfectly in a cloud drive all ready for you. And listen, this isn't just some far-out theory. Check out this real-world example from Gap Consulting. Using these exact kinds of automation, they literally tripled their content output without spending a single extra dollar or hiring anyone new. That's what we're talking about. It's powerful stuff. Power play number 3 is all about getting rid of one of the absolute most tedious tasks in the entire process: uploading the video. I mean, clicking through all those different settings for every single video, it gets old, fast. Now, when you're automating uploads, there is one little technical thing you got to keep in mind: data transfer limits.
A short HD video can easily be over 100 megabytes, so if you look at a typical plan for an automation tool, you can see that a free plan with a tiny limit like 5 megabytes just isn't going to cut it for video. You'll probably need to look at something like a Core or Pro plan that can handle those bigger files. And our final power play, automating your channel management. Now, this one is all about working smarter with the content you already have. It's brilliant.
Just imagine this. You discover a brand new thumbnail style that triples your click-through rate. Awesome. But now you have to update 200 old videos. Instead of doing that manually, you could run an automation that batch updates all of them in one go. You can do the same thing for descriptions, or for applying a new winning formula to your entire back catalog of videos. It saves a mind-boggling amount of time.
So, you've seen what's possible. And I bet you're thinking, okay, that's cool, but how do I actually start? Well, let's build your first automation. Here is a super simple 4-step blueprint to get you going.
Seriously, it's easier than it sounds. First, just write down your current process step by step. Second, make a list of all the apps you use, Google Sheets, OpenAI, whatever. Third, just check if those apps can connect to each other inside an automation platform. And finally, and this is the fun part, you just drag and drop a few boxes to build your workflow and tell it when to run. That's it. No coding required.
But before we finish up, I have to give you a quick word of caution. This is really important. Automation is an incredibly powerful tool, but you have to use it the right way.
And you've got to understand the huge difference between pure AI content, the stuff that feels robotic and generic, and AI-assisted content. The goal, always, is to use these tools to make your unique ideas and your personality shine brighter. You're the director. AI is just the crew. On YouTube, authenticity is everything. So I'll just leave you with this one question to chew on. What if your next great idea could just become a video, almost on its own, freeing you up to focus on the big picture, the creative vision, the parts of this job that actually matter? That right there is the real promise of automation. Thanks for tuning in to The Explainer.